welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas Confections countdown. So we are going on to day number 10. We are almost done with this countdown. And I am excited to see what we're gonna make for today because I might have mentioned already, I wrote this list a while ago and I put everything in here a while ago and I wrote a list of ingredients and had my husband pick up all the ingredients. I don't remember everything I put on here. So at this point, my failing memory is probably really helping me out with having fun with this because I'm just as surprised as you are to find out what we are doing next. So let's see what we have for day number 10. 10. Oh, a hot chocolate marshmallow. Okay, so it is absolutely no secret. I love making marshmallow. I like to make marshmallow. I like to eat marshmallow. I like to roast marshmallows. And one of my favorite things around this time of year is putting marshmallows in hot chocolate. My kids love it. I love it. It's all kinds of fun. So for this challenge, we are going to be making a marshmallow that has hot chocolate powder in it and a little bit of cinnamon, which is like how I like to drink my hot chocolate. We are going to be making, starting out with a basic vanilla marshmallow. And at the end of the fluffing process of our marshmallow, we're going to be adding a hot chocolate powder and our cinnamon, and it should be so much fun. I'm excited. Okay, let's get to it. All right, so our ingredients, what we have going on here for our marshmallow. We have gelatin. We are going to dissolve the gelatin in some cold water, which I currently have sitting in the fridge. I'll pull that out when it's time to do the gelatin. We have sugar, honey, vanilla, and glucose syrup. I'm trying to remember all the things I pulled out here. Corn syrup for our inverted sugar, our hot cocoa powder, a little bit of cinnamon, and this big bowl full of powder here is in equal parts powdered sugar, cornstarch, and cocoa powder. Not hot cocoa powder, but just cocoa powder. And that's gonna be for dusting our marshmallows to keep them from sticking to each other. So this is just gonna hang out until we're completely done and we're ready to dust our pan. I'm going to do this on a sheet tray, much like this sheet tray here, lined with parchment paper, and then I will sprinkle our powder down, and that's how we are going to be doing it because I do not want a thick marshmallow. I want to be able to put these in hot chocolate and not have them take up the entire top of the mug. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're going to get started with this, and it's going to require cooking the sugar syrup and then whipping it all up in the mixer. So I'm going to pull our mixer out. We're going to move over to the stove and we're going to get started on our marshmallows. All right, first things first, we are going to dissolve our gelatin here in our water. Get that blooming. Mix it around in there. And let it just sit and do its thing off to the side while we get our sugar syrup done. Okay, just gonna let that hang out here. And then to our pan, we are going to be adding in our sugar. We're going to add in our glucose syrup. I kept my spoon handy because this stuff is sticky. Add my water in to try and get it off of my spoon. Add in our honey. This is a wildflower honey. If you've seen any of my other videos where I've utilized honey, I prefer the wildflower honey over clover. Personal preference, you can use whatever you've got. I just personally like the wildflower honey. And then we have lastly our inverted sugar, which in this case is going to be our corn syrup, our light corn syrup. Okay, now we are going to start this up. We're gonna let it sit on a medium low. Kind of give it a little stir to get all that sugar mixed into our good stuff here before it starts getting hot. Once it starts getting hot, we don't really want to stir it anymore. We just want to let it do its thing. We definitely don't want our sugar sitting down there in a clump though. So we're just going to let this sit, and I'm going to clean up the sides a little bit to get that sugar off the side so we don't crystallize at all. And we will come back when we are at temperature. We are looking just like with the other candy videos we've done. We're looking to get to that 200s range. In this case, we're going to go to 212 and then take it off the heat. All right, now my syrup has gotten to 252. I think originally I said it was supposed to go to 212. That's the temperature we have to cool it down to. We're sitting at 252 right now, and I'm going to pull it off the heat. And we are going to be putting it into our stand mixer to cool. I cannot for the life of me find my matching gloves, so I'm using mismatched today. We are going to just pop this in here and get all that beautiful sugar syrup in here. All right, and now here is where we play the waiting game. We need to wait for the syrup to cool down to 212. All right, so while our sugar is just kind of hanging out over there, currently sitting at about 217, I thought it would be a good time to get our pan prepared. So what I have going on here is I took a piece of parchment, I cut the sides, and I laid it inside my sheet pan because I don't want a massive marshmallow. So I'm not using a cake pan because I don't want like a big, gigantic marshmallow. So I'm going to take this and just kind of sift my mixture of cocoa powder, powdered sugar, and cornstarch onto this tray. And that's gonna be our prepared sheet tray for when the marshmallows come out of their bowl to go here to rest. I'm not gonna be using all of it because when I slice the marshmallows, I'm still gonna need some of this, which is why there's so much. But I'm going to be very generous because marshmallows are very sticky. Okay, this looks like a lot. It's not, it's really not. You wanna make sure you move the probe around a little bit because in one spot it says one temperature, and if I move it around, it's jumping all around. So I wanna make sure that I am definitely in the 212 range and not over it. It looks like we're pretty good in most spots. So while I let this finish kind of sitting here just to make sure it's actually at temp, I'm going to dissolve our gelatin and get that ready to go in and get the rest of my supplies brought over. All right, so I have got my gelatin completely melted down. I put it in a water bath in its jar and it melted down just beautifully. I'm going to add that to our sugar syrup there. And we are going to pop this down and just let it go until it aerates. And it's cooled down considerably, but it's still hot. So that's that steam coming off of there. What we're looking to do is cool it down rapidly by mixing it and flipping the air into the hot sugar, which should give us a nice fluffy marshmallow base. I'm gradually adding it up in speed. We should be good to run it on a pretty high speed. So right now on my mixer, I have it sitting at an 8, about an 8. All right, we have a beautiful consistency with our marshmallow here. I'll pull this up so we can see it. It's a beautiful marshmallow consistency. And we're going to start adding in our other elements now. So I'm gonna put this on a medium. And we are going to first add in our vanilla. It's gonna get a little crazy for a minute while it incorporates. And then we are going to add in our chocolate powder and just kind of let it do its thing here. And we will scrape down the sides. Got this, and I dusted my spatula with a little bit of that cocoa powder mixture. Kind of scrape down my sides here. Get all of that chocolate in there. Let it keep going, and I'm going to add in my cinnamon. And I'm gonna pop that speed back up and let it just kind of re-aerate a little bit. So we are looking good. And make sure I get all of that deliciousness off of there. You know what, doing a little taste test, I think I want to amp up that chocolate flavor. So I'm gonna add some more chocolate to it. So I'm gonna go in with about a half a cup of just the plain chocolate cocoa powder. Not the hot chocolate powder, just the cocoa powder, just to kind of amp up that and give me that color I'm looking for. All right, so that is looking lovely. I'm happy with that. Tap my beater off. Get as much of that marshmallow off as possible. And that is looking beautiful. All right, so we're going to move over and get our sheet pan. Okay, so I'm hanging out over here at my sheet pan with my beautiful mixture here, and we are going to pop it on our pan. Hopefully we can see this going on here. And it is ooey and gooey and beautiful. It smells like hot chocolate and cinnamon. Very pleased with all of that so far. All right, I got an oiled spatula here. I'm just gonna try and move some of this off. Not enough oil to change the flavor of our marshmallow. It's just enough to get it off my spatula, hopefully. I'm just going to try and work this into a flatter surface because I want a thinner marshmallow. Right, at some point I had a baby wake up and a battery die. So hopefully everything I needed to get translated did get translated for this particular stage. What I have done here is I have put it on here flat. I didn't want to have a thick marshmallow because I want these to be able to go into my hot chocolate. So I'm going to take my sifter and some more of my mixture of powders. I'm just going to kind of generously cover this. You can oil it. My recipe, the original recipe that I adapted, said to oil parchment paper and put it down. I don't really want to add extra oil past what I put on my spatula, but I am going to put the parchment down. Put the parchment on here, smooth it out. And I'm just going to let this rest like this until it's completely set, and then I will chop it up. And I think we should probably put it in some hot chocolate. I mean, we'll taste one to make sure it tastes like hot chocolate, but I think we should probably melt some in hot chocolate when it's done. So I'm just gonna let this hang out, and then we will be back when it's done. I'm gonna clean up my massive mess I have made. All right, so our marshmallows are set. They're ready to be cut. They are looking beautiful. And I got myself a little mug of hot cocoa here for our taste test. Ooh, dropped my knife. I'm going to dip my knife in the powder, and hopefully that makes it easier to do this. That is a beautiful, fluffy, aerated marshmallow right there. Now I want to go smaller than this because obviously this is a pretty big size. It's not going to fit very well in my glass. So I'm going to just kind of cut some little squares. You can use a cookie cutter. You can make Christmas shapes. I think this is the perfect portion size for eating. I mean, this is a good size to put in our hot cocoa. It's a good size to give to kids. It's a good size for a gift box, actually. But we're gonna pop one right here in our cocoa. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. I wanna try a shape. Let's try a shape. Some cookie cutters. I have some various sizes of little gingerbread men. This looks like the right color, so let's give that a try. Oh, how sweet. Look how cute that is. And as far as our one in our cocoa goes, it is melting beautifully, getting exactly like a marshmallow in hot cocoa should. So I do want to try a little bit of this marshmallow, not a lot of it, because for me it is 3:30 in the morning. I have a little bit, I'm just gonna taste test. That tastes exactly like I'm drinking this hot cocoa. That is fantastic. Getting a little bit of the cinnamon, which kind of gives it that little toasty flavor. And I'm definitely getting the hot chocolate powder that we put in there. That's really good. I like that. That was fun. So yeah, so when you bite into it, it actually just tastes like you're drinking hot cocoa. The little bit of vanilla is kind of like the whipped cream you would put on top of it. It's really good. All right, so I call that one a success. I love our little shapes. I'm gonna cut out some more shapes because my kids are gonna have a blast putting them in their hot cocoa. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this one. And I can't believe we only have 2 more days before we are completely done with this challenge. I survived this challenge with only hot cocoa and coffee, no alcohol. Well, other than what we baked into our desserts. So this was a lot of fun. I am excited for the next 2 days. So if you are following along with me and you've made any of the desserts that I have done so far and you want to find me over on Instagram and post a picture of the desserts that you have made, and you can tag me at the Busy Bug Homestead and also do the hashtag 12 days of Christmas confections countdown. I would love to see what you come up with and what you've been doing. And I will also be posting all of my pictures under that same hashtag and also on my Instagram account, The Busy Bug Homestead. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.